Hey everyone, my name is Darla Kirchner. Welcome to the Collaboration Show with my good friends, Emily, Tiffany, and Kate. And today we are talking about things that scares you. Our whole month, our whole theme is about things that scare you in your business and in your life too, right? And so we're talking about things that maybe, for people who are maybe unsubscribing to your list, or they're getting off of your social media, they're not signing up for things. So we're going to talk about that today. And so we're excited to have you guys here. And I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves, and we're going to go ahead and start chatting. So if you guys have questions in the comment section, go ahead and start putting your questions in, and we'll start trying to make sure that we're answering them. And so Tiffany, since you're going to be not going to be able to be with us the whole time, one, we appreciate you co-hosting with us with Miss Africa, who couldn't be here today because she's got family first. She's got something to do with her son. So thanks for joining us, Tiffany. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do?
Sure. I am an online business coach and strategist. So I work with entrepreneurs and help them create powerful and profitable online presence through social strategies and really getting aligned with their vision, what they want to create and put out into the world. So overall, you can pretty much find me almost anywhere at Live with Tiffany. I'm a big YouTube fan, so video is really becoming more and more of my thing. So yeah, and Periscope. So video, Periscope, and now Blab. I'm really going to start incorporating Blab.
I know. We keep drawing her in. Yeah. Tiffany's awesome on Periscope. She actually did a Periscope. Was it yesterday morning? Your morning motivation?
Yes, the morning shift.
Morning shift that she does. Is it at 9 a.m.?
9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every morning.
So I was on there and I happened to catch it. And so I'm talking to her. I'm like, what was the name of the song? I'm having a scroll second.
What was it? We were talking about, I'm like, oh my God, because you said I don't remember. So now I'm like,
and I said, we have to say that song. So that whole song was in my head. So we were talking about that. So think about that. And then, so I'm going to go ahead and let Emily. So Emily, tell everybody about you and what you do, honey.
Okay, good morning. I'm Emily Petroff, and I am a life coach, health coach, business coach. And so the thing that I really specialize in helping people is to balance their business with their relationships with their health, right? I feel like for me personally, when I am uber focused on my health, sometimes I let those other pieces go. Or if there's something going on with my health, it impacts my relationships and my business. If there's something going on with my business, it impacts my health and my relationships. If there's something going on in my relationship, it impacts my business and my health. So I think that for me, I love to be able to help people not feel like they're on a teeter-totter quite so much. I think sometimes when we go and focus on one area, we let the other ones go. And so I really like to be able to help people to balance all of those things together. And because I've lost over 110 pounds, I like to help other women rock their business in their skinny jeans. So that's kind of my thing.
Love that. Wow. I gotta talk to you about that, because I tried to put my skinny jeans on today. Didn't work so well.
Oh, look at Robin's at 137 pounds. We got it. That's like worthy of some round of applause.
Yeah, we'll have to have that. That's going to be another topic, Yeah. Are you afraid to be in your skinny jeans? There we go. So Miss Kate, tell us about you and what you do, babe.
Hey, so hello everyone. I am Kate Barrett, and I am the founder of Shine a Light Media and the Email Marketing Academy. And I help amazing retail entrepreneurs and larger businesses really to save time and increase their revenues using email marketing. So over the last 10 years, I've been lucky enough to work with everyone from small entrepreneurs just getting started who, I absolutely love working with, and all the enthusiasm that comes from us entrepreneurs, all the way through to really, really big businesses like Adidas, Nissan, EDF Energy, Marks and Spencer, Secret Sales, M&M Direct, some really, really big brands. So I've been very lucky to be able to work with them. And I absolutely love sharing my email marketing knowledge with everybody. So I'm so happy to be here today. And I absolutely love our Friday Blabs. So thank you so much for hosting them, Darla.
Oh, you're so welcome. I love collaborating, as you guys know, and I love working with a team. To me, I'm much more, it's not about me, it's about being with the team. And I look forward to these Fridays with you girls. I mean, and Tiff, just know you're always welcome. We'd love to have you be here with us.
Oh, everybody is welcome. You know, that's
welcome,
isn't it? Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody who came over, thanks so much for joining us. We're so glad you guys are here. And it looks like Vic's in the house. He gives awesome props. He's amazing. You always make us feel so good. So just so heads up, Tiffany, he's awesome at giving props.
Awesome. So
yeah,
Yeah, he's amazing at that. So thanks you guys for joining us. My name is Darla. I'm a branding strategist. I love to work with entrepreneurs to help them build their brand awareness so that they are talking to the right people, that they're sharing their message and talking to the right people online and delivering the services that they can offer that shines, really. So so I just had a great call with someone today, and I'm excited about that. And that's my thing. I stay in my zone and I help them really create their brand awareness so that they're talking to the right people. So anyway, so glad you guys are here, and let's dive in. So Kate, since this is really kind of your expertise about, email marketing, let's start there, but it kind of goes everywhere too, right? But ultimately we all understand that having your email list, having your tribe to talk to is so fundamentally important, right?
Yeah.
So talk to us about that, what you deal with, because Kate and I have been working about ideal clients, and so I know she's got this on her mind right now.
Absolutely. It's so important to not just build your email list, but make sure it's a list of your ideal clients. So you've got to know who it is that you're targeting, because, if it's not the right person, that list isn't going to do you any good at all. And the best email marketing in the world is not going to do you any good at all. So you've really got to make sure that it is the right people that you're targeting. And a prime example of this, I'm going to hold my hands up to it. The last couple of years, I've been targeting the wrong people. And it's only in the last few months that I've sort of gone, hang on a minute, I'm completely, I'm marketing to the wrong people. I got carried away with what was going on around me, and I forgot what I'm passionate about. I forgot who it is that I want to be serving as well. And, that's something that I've done recently, and I've literally culled my email list by about 3/4. I've deleted them off of my email list. I've cut it right back, and I'm just going back to what I love, and that's targeting retail entrepreneurs. So, I think that if you get to a point where, and I'm sort of 2.5 years into my business. So after 2 years, it's a scary thing to do. And even though I specialize in email marketing and would advise any of my clients to do that, if you figure out you've done something wrong, go back, but it is scary. It's a very scary thing to do. But as soon as I did it, literally the first email that I sent out after I'd made that decision, that conscious decision of who I was targeting and culled my list, I had 2 people contact me straight off of the back of that email wanting to work with me. And it wasn't even a sales email. It was just, an inspirational, informational email. So it really shows how much of a difference it makes when you actually have that target audience right. And that's something that I've been working really closely with Darla on to really narrow that down. So if anyone is looking for that kind of help, Darla's your lady. But, that's really helped me to gain that clarity and really have that visualization of who am I targeting and why am I targeting them? And most importantly, how can I help them? How can I best serve them? You really need to understand who they are in order to provide the best content for them in the right way. So, for example, whether that's blog posts that you're sending out and using perhaps email as a channel to deliver that, whether that's, the social media channels that you're on, it all comes back down to knowing who your target audience is. And I think, in terms of my clients, something that I find really scares them is there's 2 things. There's sending too many emails. They get very scared about that. And they get very, very scared about people unsubscribing from their list. And again, this all comes back to knowing who your target audience is. Because if you know who your target audience is, well, if somebody unsubscribes, they're not part of your target audience. That's cool, you know, let them go. We don't want them to be on your list. We don't want them, you know, to be there if they're not interested and really passionate about what it is that you're talking to them about, the products that you offer, the services that you offer, you know, regardless of what business you're in. If somebody wants to unsubscribe, let them go. Don't worry about that. So I think, you know, my biggest advice to my clients on that side is turn off those unsubscribe notifications. Turn them off. You don't need to know that, you know. I've worked with companies that are very, very big and have millions of people on their list, and every email they send out, you're going to get some unsubscribes. That's just the way of the world. You know, people that signed up to your list may now not be in that stage where they're looking for the kind of help that you are giving or the kind of products that you're offering. You know, they may have just already purchased what they're looking for. You know, it's not necessarily a reflection on you. So, you know, definitely think about it like that. And unsubscribe is a positive, okay? Someone doesn't want to be on your list, let them go. And again,
it's so hard though. Let's talk about that for a second. Does anybody have comments or questions for Emily or for Kate about this? Because think about it. I mean, we've been doing this for a couple years now, and I know Em's getting ready to like really come into working online. We're pulling you in here, girlfriend. We're making you come on with us. It's hard. It's scary because I'm getting ready to work with Kate on that because she's my go-to girl for everything email. And I always tell my clients, okay, you need to have a list. This is why. Let you understand that. And I say, talk to Kate. So because that's what that's her expertise, that's her zone. But it's scary because I mean I've got a list right now that it's growing, but it's not growing the way I want. And to know that when I look at my open rates and I go, oh my God, you know, you want to make sure you're talking to the right, that they're opening them up too, right? So when you purge half your list, and I've had people tell me that they've like started all over again too. So that's scary. Yeah, Tiffany, have you?
Yes. When I first transitioned out of doing more like really heavy affiliate marketing and going into business coaching and marketing at a different angle, I had a list of 5,000 that I just straight purged because they weren't opening. They weren't really responsive to the new direction that I was going into my business. And so there was no point. And I was just paying for it, right? Like essentially you're just paying for those people to be on your list and they're not doing anything. And so I'm like, well, that was a different phase of, you know, my business at that time. And I'm going to be progressing into another direction. So they don't really care for that direction, then there's no point of keeping them on. And so getting rid of a list of 5,000 people is, you know, after you like built that time to like grow that list is a little like, but at the same time, it's about you really understanding, like Kate was saying, you know, who are those people that you're really trying to help, that you're really trying to get up into, you know, into your world of your business that wants to not only engage with you, but actually buy your services and products. Because if they're not buying or they don't really care, then you're just talking to nobody, essentially.
No, they're not even opening it up. So what's the point, right?
So I actually did a video. I did a YouTube video called Buy Unsubscribe. So that was funny. Talking about the same conversation because I had a lot of people, even my clients, that were like, you know, people, I sent out an email and then I got like 10 unsubscribes. Like, what's wrong? I'm like, well, they clearly either didn't know like what, you know, they were signing up for, or they're just purely not interested. And that's okay. It's really about taking the time to cultivate the tribe that is aligned with you and your business and the direction in which you're going. If they're not interested, you don't want them on your list anyway.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things there that are really, really key. So the first thing is you've got to get that sign up process right. So when you're looking for people to sign up to your email list, if you're not setting those expectations and letting them know what they're going to receive, when they're going to receive it from you, absolutely, you're going to run into problems down the line. That is so key. You've got to be really clear about what's going on and what you're going to be sending them on email. And the other thing there is also, just to clarify for everyone watching, I didn't just delete these people with no thought behind it. There was a series of 3 emails that I sent out telling people what was going on, what my change in direction was, and asking them, did they still want to receive emails from me?
Right.
Okay. And they had the chance to unsubscribe, or they had the chance to say to me, yes, I want to carry on receiving those emails from you. After that series of emails, I then did the cull. So I think it's really important to make sure that people know I didn't just take my list and go, that's it, right, you're gone. You know, you've got to give people the chance to say, yes, actually, that is something that interests me. Otherwise, you're culling your list for no reason. So definitely bear that in mind. But it all comes down to having the right people on your list. And I always say to my clients, you know, it's better to have 10 people on your list that want to hear from you, that are passionate about the products or services that you're offering, than it is to have 100,000 people on there who really don't give a damn, to be honest with you, you know, really don't care, aren't your ideal clients, aren't right for you, and aren't going to open your emails and engage with them and all of that kind of thing. So you've got to have that clear idea to begin with, to know how to grow your email list. Because again, you're only going to grow your email list with your ideal client if you're going out and finding your ideal client. Okay, so you've got to know, where are they hanging out, offline, online, where are they, so that you can target them with something really juicy to get them onto your email list. So again, it comes back to really knowing who that target audience is. And earlier on, I mentioned that the other thing that really scares my list, seeing as that's our kind of subject today, is sending too many emails. And again, this comes back to the sign up form in some ways. And it also comes back to knowing who your target audience are and what they want from you. So you will never send too many emails if you let people know at sign up how many emails you're going to send. So let's look at the extreme example. Look at the daily deals sites. Okay, they send you an email every single day, but you know, when you're signing up, that's what you're going to receive. You're going to receive offers to your inbox every day. So that's how they make a massive amount of their revenue, through email marketing and email daily. Now, the other side of that is the content that they're providing. They're providing new, valuable, relevant, interesting content on a daily basis. Now, I'm using the daily deals sites as an extreme example of this. But, you know, the fact is that's new content every day that they're sending out. And that's what their audience want to receive. They want to receive new offers in their area. So as long as you're making it clear who, you know, what you're sending and when you're going to send it, and as long as you're making sure that the content that you're providing is what your audience want and find valuable, relevant, and interesting, there is no limit to the number of emails that you can send. Now, you need to keep an eye on your statistics, and, you know, we won't go into all of that really in-depth side of it. But at a basic level, you know, when my clients say to me, okay, how often should I email my list? And I say, well, how often have you got information that's valuable, relevant, and interesting to them? That's your answer. And again, just make it clear on that sign up form. You know, I'm going to be sending you, you know, exclusive special offers and news once a week, twice a week, every day, whatever that is, tell them. And as long as they know, then that is their choice to sign up. They've been given that information from the very get-go. So never, ever, ever be scared to send more emails to your audience, as long as it's valuable, relevant, and interesting. So, you know, from the two sides of what scares people, again, it always comes back to, who are your audience? What do they want? How can you help them? And making sure they know exactly what it is they're going to get from you.
That's awesome. I'm putting that in there. I just had to type
I
that in
did
there.
too.
Oh, you did too? High five, girlfriend. High five. High five. I don't know which way I'm supposed to be going. There you go. There you go. We should just... That's so important, and a lot of people don't realize that, you know, because you're trying to grow your list. So I remember the first couple of times I did, I was like, and I remember I did a campaign, and I probably had, I think I one campaign, I think I had 7 people opt out a day. I almost cried. I'm like, no.
Yeah. But that goes back to you growing your email list. That's really indicative of either two things. You've either grown your email list with the wrong people, or your content isn't hitting the mark with them. So if you're getting unsubscribes, you need to look at those two things. How did they come onto your list? You know, where did you get them in from? Was it Facebook? Was it, guest blogging on another website? Where was it that you got these people from? Was that the right place to target your audience? How did you set their expectations on the sign up form? And are you providing content that they actually want? Since I've done my cull of my list, I'm still getting quite a few unsubscribes. And that's because, yes, there were people who were engaging and said they did still want to receive emails from me. But now that I've got really targeted with the content that I'm sending, they've obviously sat there and gone, do you know what, actually, yeah, I'm not a retailer. This really, really isn't for me. I'm going to unsubscribe now. But they kind of gave it a chance at that point, which is cool. But you know what? Again, I'm sort of going, every time I'm getting an unsubscribe at the moment, I'm going, yes, brilliant. That's absolutely fine with me, because, you're obviously not my target audience. And my strategy now is, right, how do I find my target audience? And Darla and I have been doing a lot of work together to figure out, where are they hanging out? Where is the best platform for those online retailers that I'm really targeting? So, for me, it's been quite a big change in what I'm doing, the way I'm thinking. But I've really seen the results from it, positive and negative in terms of the unsubscribes, but positive in terms of the business that's coming out of that. So, unsubscribes are a negative thing. If you're getting loads of them and you can't figure out why that's happening, yeah, you've got a problem there and you need to dig into it. But as I said, it's going to be one of those things: wrong audience, wrong information on the sign up form, or wrong content for your audience. So you need to go through those three things and figure out what it is. But as long as you know what it is, then that's cool.
Yeah. And that's something that Kate and I are working really in detail. But it's really, it saves you money in the back end if you put this time in now and understand who what your purpose is and who is your ideal client. So you're really targeting them. Then it will help you know how you can help them and give them the welcome offer and all that stuff, so that you're going to save time and money on the back end, because it doesn't serve you and you're not serving the right people. If they're sitting on, if you've got 500 or in Tiffany's case, 5,000 people that she is not her ideal client. That's money that she's spending every month to have them be on her email list.
But you know what? They're not going to make you money. They're not going to buy from you, these people, because they're not your ideal target audience. They're not the people that you're communicating with. They're not the people that you're talking to about those specific problems that you want to solve with your products or your services. So you've got to make sure it's the right people. And, really just remember, it's better to have 100 people who really want to hear from you and are your target audience and you're speaking directly to them than 100,000 people who really couldn't care less. So it really is quality of your email list over quantity. And, I think this is the same, if let's look at social media, for example. I know that there are a lot of companies, and I use that word very loosely in this sense, who offer you, get 100,000, followers and, all of this kind of thing, and you buy followers. Well, that's just a number. That's going to do nothing for your business. So what's the point? Wouldn't you rather have 100 people that you were talking to that really wanted to hear from you than just having the number bumped up to 100,000 people who really couldn't care less? So, that's why I use that term really loosely, the companies that allow you to buy followers. Stay away from it.
It's spending too much time on that vanity metrics thing, really just trying to be like, oh, I have to get to the 10,000 people on my email list. When if the 10,000 people aren't your ideal client, if they're not the people that want to hear from you, if they're not the people that's going to buy anything from you, then why do you really want to have 10,000 people on your email list? Saying, why would you want to have 10,000 people on your fan page or Instagram or any of those platforms if they aren't actual people that are really interested in your brand and in your business? So it's really going back down to what is the purpose of utilizing all of these different tools? It's really to build your business. And so building your business means you should be engaging. You should be really targeting people with information that they want from you that's valuable, and building a genuine, following on each of these platforms in that way that's organic. Because I remember, working before I did my own thing, and I used to work for a small startup. I was their social media manager. And I remember the day that they wanted to buy like fans. And I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Because it's going to totally ruin like anything, like any of my analytics that I'm trying to like measure and see how effective it is that the work that I'm doing. So I was really, really anti buying anything. And this was back in like 2010. So that was like brand new back then. Like no one knew like what to do back in 2010. And so even now though, like buying a whole bunch of followers doesn't really do anything for your business. And before I jump off, because I have to go, I wanted to also hit home on the type of like opt-ins. So I remember when I first started or when I launched Live with Tiffany, and, you know, because I do a mix of online business, marketing training, as well as a lot of motivation. And at the time I was transitioning from being a marketing strategist into more that lifestyle business entrepreneur stage. And I only had offerings that related to marketing, but yet I was coming out the gate as like super motivational mindset type of information. And I realized there was a huge clash of the people who were signing up for my stuff versus what I actually had to offer. So it was really, really important to know what is it that you do and you're getting people to, you know, to join you on your email list or to join you on social media to actually buy into what you can provide to them, and doing everything just for vanity purposes, or if you're really like myself, extremely motivational, know that people will start coming to you for that. So when you hit them with the curveball of, well, I don't offer anything in the motivational department, so sorry, it doesn't really do anything for them or help you really grow your business. And that was something that I had to relearn of, you know, what types of information I was putting out there, or really segment my list and know that these are the type of individuals that came from this particular offer that was highly motivational. So maybe when I come out with my motivational product, that's going to be for them. And then as I'm building through other things like webinars, teaching, you know, Facebook ads or something, then those are the types of individuals that want the marketing stuff. So really knowing even the list that you're developing is going to be key to growing the people that you want, as well as selling them certain types of products and services. That's my 2 cents.
That's a great point. Tiffany, I know you got to leave, honey. Why don't you go ahead and put your email in the chat, in the comment section, so that people can reach you. Thank you so much for coming on with us today. We really appreciate you being here. Hope you have an awesome weekend and you get some sleep.
Yes. Me too.
Yes, awesome. Thanks, honey, for coming in. Have a great weekend, babe. Thanks. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let her put her stuff in there. So I know Vic had a question. Kate, did you see that?
No, I didn't. So while you find that, I'm just gonna quickly say that it is important to set yourself goals. You know, we're saying here it's better to have 100 people who are interested than 100,000 people who aren't. But at the same time, it's also better to have 100,000 people who are interested in your products and service than 100 people who are interested in your products and service. So yes, you should give yourself targets, and yes, you should try and get to 5, 10, 15, 20,000 followers, you know, 1 million followers, you know, on social media and on your email list. But making sure they're the right people, that is really, really, really key. So what was the question? How can I help?
So Vic had asked the question. He said, can you outsource your email marketing campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's what I do for all my clients in various sort of different ways, you know, whether that's consultancy in terms of advising them on what they should do, or whether that's literally taking everything off their hands from design, copywriting, setup. You know, the other end of the scale is taking everything and doing it all for you. So absolutely, you know, at whatever level you want, whether you want advice or whether you want it completely all taken off of your hands at the other side, absolutely. You know, that's what people like me do for you. So yeah, Vic, absolutely. If you want some help, let me know.
Yes, yeah. So you know, do you have? I know this is kind of quiet with this, and we've been like, you know, dominating the whole conversation about email marketing. What are your thoughts, or do you have questions or comments or observations?
I just got to say quickly, I love the picture that Vic's put in the comments. That's brilliant.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, how cool! Very cool, buddy.
First, I'll tell you, there is a little bit of feedback, Darla, when you're talking. So I don't know if you have an extra window open or if you need to hop your little Yeah. So I am here representing the people who have not done a good job building an email list. And I think that it can be really, really, it can be challenging. It can be confusing. It can be like, what type of offer do I need? And I tried that and it didn't work. And so, you know, I feel like I think it's wonderful. And Kate and I should probably chat offline about, you know, what type of strategy I need to put in place. But I think that, you know, I went from, so I'll just give you a little bit of background on my journey in email marketing, because I don't know that it's necessarily that I don't have anything to add, but I think listening to what Kate has to say is really important for somebody like me who really has fumbled through this so many times, right? I started out after Brendon Burchard's conference, Darla, where we met, and I went balls to the walls, and I got Office in Motion, crap, I can't even remember.
Office. Was it an email marketing? Was it an email?
Yeah, it was like all inclusive. It had your shopping cart, it had the list, it had everything all together that you could do. It was like $300 a month, right? Just for the service, right?
Yeah.
I can't even remember. So I started out with that, and I was like, I'm just gonna, because I'm the girl who builds the plane, right? Before on the way down, like I'm like, let's just freaking do this. I'm on, let's go, I'm ready. And then 3 months into that, I was like, okay, well, I've now spent $900, and I don't have a freaking clue what the hell I'm doing, who I'm talking to, and what the hell is going on here, right? So,
hang on a second. Was it Infusionsoft?
No, it was the other one that they were talking about. That gosh darn it, it'll come to me before. It was like,
if you guys think of it, I can't think. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And the money you spent was on the system, not on growing your email list.
Yes, ma'am. On the system.
You got done by the salesperson there, honey.
No, it really wasn't even the salesperson thing. It was being a part of a community where people really like, here's what I told Darla that I felt like. I went to a conference that I got a ton of value from that place, but I was really way, way out of my league at that point in my business, right? Like I was sitting in a room full of people who, and maybe the other people were the same people, but I felt like I was sitting in a room full of people who were in a college course and I hadn't even started kindergarten yet, right? Like, I mean,
that's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. Can you hear me?
All these, all of these people really had, you know, a lot more experience online than I did. I grew up, I'm a 5th generation entrepreneur, and I know how to build business from a grassroots, like I'll freaking go knocking on doors. I'll go network my ass off. Right. But online was a totally different animal for me than how I build my other businesses. So I was like, shit, I know how to build business. Like, this is just another tool. This is just another element. Like, I can do this. And so I really went gung-ho and, you know, went into that program. And so then when I realized 3 months in and I had spent $900, I was like, oh shit, this is not going to work. I can't build it fast enough to recoup the cost or to justify what I'm spending. Although I thought the program was brilliant, right? At some point, maybe someday I'll end up back there, but so then I went to AWeber, which is where Darla told me to go in the first place. And I was not really successful with that. And so then I think Darla went to, I followed Darla all the way around. Like, she was like, we're going to MailChimp now because there's all these other things that we're doing. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Okay, I'm going to MailChimp. So then we went to MailChimp and I kind of did a little bit there and I got a couple of people and I, you know, fucked around with some shit and it was just ridiculous, right? And then we went to something, GetResponse.
We're on GetResponse.
Okay, so then we went to GetResponse and I really was in this place in my business, right, where it was like nothing was working from a core standpoint. I really had changed so many of the things that I was offering and so many of the things that I was doing that I didn't fucking need GetResponse either, right? Like, it was like, just get the hell off of there and figure out what you're doing and then, you know, start over. So
You're spending all your time switching systems rather than actually doing anything with them.
Yeah. And that's a whole scary topic too, right? And I know she had a story, so I wanted her to go through, because I know that it's relatable, Em, because you're not alone. I mean, I've been on probably 5 or 6 different platforms. And so part of you're trying to learn that system, but you also have to know you have to know what you do and who you serve, right? Yeah. And then you start talking to them.
Why have you switched systems so much? That's my question. What was it that was the impetus that kept you switching and switching and switching and switching? What made you do that?
Because when you don't know what the hell you're doing, you just listen to what everybody else says.
That's true. And I feel like a bad friend, because she's going, what are you doing? She's following me. So I'm trying.
I definitely don't. I think, Darla, if anything, you helped me. And from not only from a cost savings perspective, right, but from just like, it had nothing. I probably wouldn't have switched systems if I really had a good idea from the core of what I was doing, who I was trying to reach, and and it was just like this whole online animal, right? I'm good at this. This is what I'm good at. But that whole, like, what you, Kate, and Darla, and Africa do, that is way not my strength, right? Like, you ladies are amazing online. You do amazing stuff with, if you get on my website right now, like, right? Like, that is not my strength, right? It's just like this, it's okay. I put it together myself, and that's not my strength. My strength is like, I know that when I get a client, I am going to rock your freaking world, right? Like, I know that, but I haven't yet built a bridge between building my business on a local level, really, or on a regional level, and being able to do this face to face, and people go, I want what you have, and I'm like, yes, you do. To doing it online, right, and then doing the email piece.
Yeah.
Right. So I have to. So everybody, a lot of people are relating to you're not alone, and and we've all been there. So this is probably great information for Miss Kate to have. And I know, like Vic is saying, I'm with you. I think Stevie said the same thing, and then they said the journey is about clarity, and that exploration takes you there. You have to rock your it factor and do what you've been custom designed, assigned to do. Yeah. So I think, it's a process. It's all a journey. We're all trying to figure it out, right? But I think hopefully by us sharing what's worked and what hasn't worked for us in our journey is helping other people. And so I think that's the most important thing. So I hope that hope you guys are who's all on here is saying that.
Kate, is that what you would recommend, is GetResponse?
Okay, so that's a kind of a very, very big question. And in terms of the system,
broad question.
It really depends what you want to do with it.
Okay.
Because different systems will do different things. So what you really need to figure out is not just where you are now, but where you want to be in 12 months' time. And to be honest with you, for you, I would just say stick with what you have now. Don't keep moving around. Yeah, it's not gonna help you. And to be honest with you, the systems at this level, MailChimp, Aweber, GetResponse, Constant Contact, all of those types of systems do very, very similar things. So just stick with it, and what's more important is what you're doing with it, the emails that you're sending out. Mm-hmm. And I think that, again, it's the difference here between product and service-based businesses is miles apart here. So if you're a product-based business, in terms of your opt-in offer, people want to know about your products. So they either want, free shipping, free delivery, they want a percentage off or £1 off or $1 off, whatever that amount is. Or a free sample or something like that. Whereas for service-based businesses, again, it comes back down to, really, what is that pain point? And you want to then start with that pain point. So again, it comes back to knowing who your ideal client is. And, again, something that I want to just sort of put out there is, it doesn't have to be the War and Peace of opt-in offers. You don't have to have a 10-hour long video series. You don't have to have a 100-page ebook. You know, a 1-page checklist can work just as well if it helps your target audience solve a problem. The other thing that you want to remember is, particularly if you're creating a sales funnel, that you're getting them from the opt-in, you want to take them through, build a relationship, and then sell them something. Make sure that your opt-in offer has relevance to what you're going to sell them. So let's say, for example, you've got an online course or something like that. Take one of those modules, take an element of that module and give that away as your opt-in offer. Give away part of that course, because that is solving a problem for them and that is linked to what you're going to sell them. So that's really, really, really important to do that and make sure that you're aligning that in the right way. The other thing that I would say about opt-in offers, and again, this is a trap that I've fallen into myself, you can have the best opt-in offer in the world, but if no one sees it, no one's going to sign up for it. And then you think, oh my goodness, it didn't work, I'm going to go and create another one. Don't do that, okay? Just don't do it, and don't keep creating and creating and creating and creating, because you're using up your time where actually the first one that you did, go back to that, tweak it. You know, get it out there further, you know, tweak it, optimize it, make it even better for your audience, you know, maybe add to it a little bit. But if you keep going, oh, here's an opt-in offer, I'm going to push it out, but I haven't pushed it out very far, and then I didn't get many opt-ins, so, oh, I'm going to scrap that one. Same process again with another one. Oh, no, scrap it. Same process again with another one. You're never going to get to the point where you hit something that really works, because chances are the first time you create something, it's never going to be spot on, you know, unless you're 10 years down the line into business and you've done this multiple times and you know exactly what's going to resonate with your audience. So, you know, go back to your opt-in offer. If it's not getting the results you want, why is that? Is that the content of it? Is it how you're delivering that? So, for example, some people love blogs and checklists and ebooks. Some people love videos. Some people love audio. You know, what's best for your audience? So go back. So yeah, how are you delivering it? And who are you pushing it out to? Again, are you pushing it out to where your target audience is? So content, how it's delivered and where you're pushing it out to are really key for service-based businesses when they're creating an opt-in offer. And making sure that, again, if you've got the perfect opt-in and people are signing up, but then they're not purchasing, then you've got a disconnect again in that process somewhere between the value you're providing on sign up and then where they're coming into it and you're trying to sell to them. So that's really my advice for service-based providers. But in terms of the system that you're using, I mean, you know, in terms of my clients, it's a whole range of different systems that we use because it depends on what they need. So, okay, I'm going to lay it out there. My recommendation, and this is a personal recommendation, if you're just getting started, don't know what to do, haven't got much budget, and you don't want to be spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds until you see some value from your email marketing, go with a MailChimp or an Aweber or a Constant Contact or a GetResponse, because they're the lower priced end of the market. Again, if I was to choose, if someone said to me, right, would you choose MailChimp or Aweber? Again, it depends what you need, but personally, I would choose MailChimp, because one of the key things in email marketing is automating what you're doing. And MailChimp has so much more functionality for that than Aweber does, which for me really knocks Aweber, you know, right down there. And MailChimp are doing a lot of developments to their system at the moment, and they've launched some really great stuff in the last year. So from that side, that would be my recommendation. But really, you know, I mean, this is something that I would go through a process. I would sit with a client for 2 or 3 hours. I would delve into what it is that they need. You know, what are their pain points? What are they trying to create? What do they want to create in 6 months? What do they want to create in 12 months? What are their email marketing plans? And then I would say, okay, here are 3 systems that I would recommend based on all this information. Go and get a demo of them. They would then get a demo of those systems, see what they're like, see what they feel about them, because it can come down to something as simple as user interface. You know, if you've got 3 systems that have the same functionality, it's who you like in terms of using the system yourself. So it can come down to something, you know, as simple as that. So it really, really depends on what it is that you want to achieve and where you want to go. But I would say if you are somebody who's just getting started, Don't go for a full bells and whistles system that costs you $500 a month, because you need time to build up your list, and you need time to build it up to the point where you can be making that money back from it. So you've got to watch that budget side as well. Again, another consideration. So you've got to think about all of these things.
So I have to say, Vic is reading my mind right now, because he said, as I'm listening to all of these amazing and beautiful things that you're saying, I'm thinking, holy shit, this is a lot of work, right? Like, and so then he posts, just seems like a lot to do when you're the only one in your business, unless you start outsourcing or hiring contractors. And it's just, I think that I got to imagine, Kate, that you find people that are probably just like me, or, a version of me, that are like, this is really, really hard. Like, I'm really good at what I do, but this is really hard. And then I just quit. I don't do it because it's challenging.
But keep it simple. Keep it simple. I think that, as entrepreneurs, we can overcomplicate things in our minds. You've just said it yourself. You are really good at what you do. So, Emily, do you put out blog posts, or do you create videos, or, what content are you already creating in your business?
Well, that also is all of those things, depending on the week or the month, right?
But that's your content. That's your content for your email.
Mm-hmm.
So all you've got to do is take what you're already creating for your audience, because you know your audience, you know what you're good at. Take that information and use email as a delivery tool. The key thing about email marketing, let's compare it to social media, for example, or search engine marketing. You put out a message and you hope people pick it up, because you just put it out into the ether and it flies around, and somebody might see it in your news feed, but they might not. They might stumble across your page on Google, but they might not. Email marketing, you are getting straight into their inbox. It's it's there ready for them, so you're delivering it straight to them. So if you have a regular blog that you put out, or you do regular videos and then you put them onto your blog, email is just a way to send that information out to your audience. Mm-hmm. So first and foremost, use it as that delivery tool. That's your first step. So keep it simple. The next step is to start to create, what we would sort of term as a sales funnel. But effectively, it's just a series of messages that lead people up to where you want them to be, to purchasing something, to, learning something specific, to reading a specific blog post, whatever that might be. But just keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things in your mind. Think of it as a tool to push stuff out that you're already creating. And yes, you do need to learn the technology that you're using. So you need to know how to use GetResponse or MailChimp or Aweber or whatever system that is. But keep it simple. And there are people out there like me who can help you if that's the way you want to go. But I know, again, as entrepreneurs just starting out, we haven't necessarily got the budget to hire someone to do that for us. So have a look at the free resources. I've got a blog myself. I do various webinars and videos and periscopes and things like that. And as entrepreneurs, that's what we've got to do. We've got to scrape that free information until we are ready to then, invest in that. Regardless of what it is, we've got to get to that point first, right? But yeah, service-based businesses, keep it simple, use the content that you've already got. And then when we're talking about a sales funnel, do you know what? Ignore all of these terms. Basically what it is a series of messages telling people about a certain thing, leading them up, changing their mind, and leading to the point where they purchase your service, your online product, whatever that is. But I've got to say, for retail businesses, so if we've got any retailers listening, it's completely the opposite. Everything that I'm saying for service-based businesses is completely the opposite for retail. So for retail, again, you've got to think, what do your target audience want? And your target audience have signed up to hear about your products. So don't write about what you had for breakfast. Don't give them, reams and reams of content. This is where it's completely the opposite from service-based businesses. Tell them about your products. End of story. Okay, that's what they want.
I got a couple of things here. We got some comments coming over in the comments section, which I definitely want to address. But before I forget that, because I can have squirrel seconds and forget what I was going to talk about. One of the things I think, piggybacking on what Kate's saying, is Emily, you are fantastic at sharing content on Facebook. that content could be part of your email strategy, should be part of your email strategy.
And can I just say,
you are fantastic at that.
Sorry, just really quickly, the content in your emails, and I said this to someone the other day and they were like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It doesn't even have to be your own content. It could be a collaboration of, fantastic blogs that you've found from around the industry that would help your clients. It doesn't even have to be your content. It can be other people's content that you've gone, that was a great blog post, or that was a great video I watched. And you could do like a monthly newsletter with like a roundup from the industry saying, these are the great blogs that I've read and I found helpful this month. I thought you'd find them helpful too. So yeah, sorry, I just had to interrupt and put that one in there.
No, that's great. That's great. And that's something that you're absolutely right. And so a lot of times, like, I blog every week. So I share that content with my audience, and my email list, I call them my community. They're my VIPs. These are the people that I bend over backwards for. And so I try to, no matter what, that is something that I've committed myself to. And so I try to give valuable content to them that I think will help them in their business, grow their brand awareness, grow, tips and tools and strategies. That's not to say that it's always coming from me. I will talk to Kate. Kate and I have done webinars before, and I'll promote that. And that's the same thing. Because this is the other thing is that I wanted to bring this up, and I definitely want to talk about what the people are saying over in the comments section. So if you want to think about that too, Emily, but you had mentioned one of the things that you like to do, what your focus is on wellness, wellness, business, and
health, relationships, and business. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Health, relationship, and business. Those are 3 different avatars. So you might want to be having 3 different funnels. Oh, yeah. 3 different.
So let me ask you about that, because that's not how I do it in my business, right? Like, although those are separate things, I don't ever, like with anyone that I'm working with, there's very few people that I only focus on one thing with them, right? Like we handle the trilogy, right? Like that is I want the person that wants to balance and manage and juggle all 3 pieces.
Okay. Well, then you have to be very clear when you're talking about that, I think. So that would probably be my biggest tip for you when you're talking about that ideal client, so that you're making sure that, because it's too overwhelming for them to understand. Because let's face it, how many emails? I get hundreds of emails a day. What's going to make me open up yours? Mm-hmm. And so I need to think about that. And so maybe you're already talking about that one topic. So maybe you think about a whole series of conversations talking about, say in January, it's about health, because that's when everybody's thinking about being healthier. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So you're talking to that ideal client about their health and getting and how by being healthier is going to help them in their business and in their life and that type of thing. So you're bringing that all in, but that's something that, I'll help you with that and talk to you about your ideal client. But that's something that I wanted to bring that up before we talk about that. I know that we've got some comments here that I need to go back to and observations. Vic brought up some things. Let me see here. What did he say here? Body Work said, do one thing really well instead of multiple things half-heartedly. I totally agree with that. Vic had a question for Kate, I think. So true, Kate, but everyone doesn't have your strengths. Yep. Someone may be good at other things in the business, but you may not be good at email marketing, and other people may be good at sales, for example, which is true. And that's the thing is like, so if you're not good at that thing, then you either need to get on a list like Kate's list so that she can give you those tips. And she is phenomenal at delivering great tips. She does it in her Facebook group.
So everyone.
Yes, she's targeting
retail examples.
Yes, but a lot of her information will be relatable, so you can get that. So know that too. Stevie says, stay in your wheelhouse, rock that to the fullest.
Yeah, I just want to just make a quick comment about Vic's comment. I totally agree. There are lots of things that I'm not very good at. Absolutely. And what I would say is, again, keep it simple. If either learn more about it. So if you want to learn more about, automating your email marketing and systemizing it and all of those types of things, absolutely go and learn more about it. Absolutely. And that's something you will need to learn more about. If you want to grow a business, you've got to have an email list, and that's something you're going to want to learn more about. But to begin with, you don't have to be an expert at email marketing. You just have to know that I've got a blog post here that I've written that my target audience want to know about. I've got a list that I'm building here of my target audience. I'm going to send it out to them. That's all you need to know. You know, the fact is with an email list, you're building a relationship with people. And that's the key thing. So you don't have to be an expert at email marketing to use email marketing successfully for your business to begin with. But certainly, you know, as you grow, you're going to want to learn more. And it's the same with any area. You know, if you're not an expert at social media, what do? You go and learn more about social media. If you're not an expert about search engine marketing, you go and learn more about search engine marketing. If you're not an expert at, you know, networking, you go and learn more about how to network successfully. You know, whatever that is in business, as an entrepreneur, that's what we signed up for. We signed up to basically be that one person who does everything in our business. And we have to make a decision strategically about what are those areas of business that we want to focus our time on right now to learn more about and get more competent in. Or how can we earn the money to employ somebody who is an expert in that area? You know, think about the really big businesses that are out there. There's not one person doing everything in those businesses. There's, you know, there's a marketing team, there's a sales team, there's the accounts team, there's, you know, all these different teams, because people have different strengths. And as you grow your business, that's how you add on to it, and how you do grow your business, by employing people who have different strengths from you. Because if you try to employ people that were exactly the same as you, your business isn't going to grow, because you're not filling the gaps in your business. So I think, Vic, you make a really, really great point there. But that is all part of being an entrepreneur and growing your business.
Yeah, and Vic makes a point. He said, you know, this problem is finding the audience, which, Vic, that's a whole other topic of conversation. We're talking about that, about knowing who your ideal client is and who the target audience is. Yeah, and I'm happy to talk to you, Vic, about that. And that's something we're definitely going to be talking about, that and talking about all of our different strengths. So thank you for that. Systematizing your business, yes. You either have to pay someone or either in money or time, and that's the truth. Yeah. And so you got to have somebody that's in your wheelhouse that can help you in those areas. And either you're going to do it with time, or you're going to do it with money. So and that's why we all want to make sure we're getting paid for our services, right?
And I'm just going to throw in there, you know, for example, you know, everyone is obsessed with social media nowadays, right? So, well, firstly, if you have a social media channel and it goes down, Facebook, Twitter, you know, I think recently Twitter went down for 5 minutes and the whole world went crazy about it. You know, I remember when Facebook went down again, the whole world went crazy about it. Well, your email list belongs to you. So that's one of the benefits of having an email list, and you're getting straight to them. But I think that you really do have to, you know, break it down. So in an email marketing sense, you've got two aspects of it. Regardless of whatever you are doing in your business, you need to know where your target audience are. Okay, so if you want to use social media to reach your audience, well, are they on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Periscope, Pinterest? Where are they? You know, where are they hanging out? And then you've got to find them. So, you know, even if you're doing, let's go old school, you know, if you're doing a piece of print marketing or something like that, you know, back in the day before social media even existed, and, you know, come on, people, social media is a very, very new channel in terms of marketing. There are so many other ways to market your business other than social media, okay? And that's something that really gets my goat, actually. But even, you know, before email marketing, before social media marketing, how did people get it out there? Okay, the first thing is you've got to know your audience. So way back in the day when marketing sort of first started, and you used to have, you know, posters coming out, or, you know, even if we think about, you know, during like wartime, the propaganda posters and things like that, they're talking to the people that they want to attract. They're talking to the feelings that they wanted to get from those people, okay? So everything that you do in marketing in general, in your business, you've got to start with who is the person you want to attract. Then you've got to say, right, that person, where are they? Are they, you know, walking down the street, in which case, yeah, a billboard and a poster out there is going to work. Are they, you know, on social media channels? Which ones are they on? You know, have they got an email account that they want to sign up with, in which case that's going to work for you. You know, you've got to find out where is your target audience hanging out. You know, look, if your target audience is a 90-year-old woman who lives in a retirement home, then social media and email marketing probably aren't going to work for you, you know, but she's probably sitting there watching Coronation Street. So, you know, that's sorry, it's a UK program. You know, but so you're probably going to want to do something to do with that. But if you're looking for a 25-year-old female, you know, who is, you know, is growing her own business, well, then you want to look at where she's hanging out. Okay. So you see the difference there, but you know, there are lots and lots of different marketing channels. And actually, I just want to go back quickly. There was a question, and I can't remember who said it, but way back up in the chat, there was a question about is email dying? And I just want to address that quickly.
I was actually scrolling while you were talking to find that comment, because I do remember that. Yeah. So yeah, answer that.
So just to answer that quickly, that rumor has been going around for years and years and years. And I don't know if you guys remember when Facebook launched Facebook Mail a few years ago. Again, the whole industry went up in arms and went, oh my God, it's going to kill email marketing. Well, guess what? Email's still here. Email is one of the top performing channels. If you look at marketing channels in terms of return on investment, search engine marketing and email marketing are your top two. Social media is way down below those, okay? And another statistic for you, email is 40 times better at acquiring new customers than Facebook or Twitter. So email, trust me, it is not dying. That rumor has been going around for so long. And actually, I was on the train yesterday and I ripped out an article. It's around here somewhere. But it was basically, there are some celebrities who have started their own newsletter. Shock horror. And email's dying. Well, why are they doing that? How comes we still make revenue from email marketing? How comes that we're actually approaching the time for retailers where 25% of their email is sent out over Christmas? That's where they make the majority of their revenue. You know, you've got to think about it in terms of the facts. Email marketing is not dying. What is happening with email marketing is that you have to work harder as an entrepreneur, as a marketeer, as a business owner, to make sure that you're talking to the right people, that you're getting the right people on your list, and you're providing them with content that they really want. That is the key. But absolutely no. Look at email marketing is not dying. It is one of the strongest marketing channels out there that you will ever find. So yeah, I just wanted to address that one quickly. You see, I'm getting all passionate about it now.
Hold up, you can tell that Emily's very passionate. I mean, Kate is very passionate about what she does, and so is Em. I mean, we all are very passionate, and so she's got it. And I love that people are saying that. So look at that. Am I getting? Can you guys get an echo still from me?
Yeah. No, you're okay at the moment.
Okay, thank you.
I can hear it.
How can you?
I've got it plugged in.
Yeah, there's two things that wind me up. There's people saying that email's dead, because any statistic you look at will show you that absolutely it's not. It's growing and growing and is so powerful. And the other one is, which email service provider should I use? Yeah, because it's you know, particularly for entrepreneurs, I see this so much in the groups on Facebook. They go, oh, you know, what ESP should I use? And the trouble is that the people in those groups only know about 4 ESPs. Aweber, MailChimp, Constant Contact, Infusionsoft, and GetResponse. Sorry, about 5. There's like 5 that go around. And trust me, there are thousands in the industry. So I was having a conversation with a colleague earlier, and he runs a website called Email Vendor Selection. It's a really, really great website, and I'm going to start co-editing it with him. And basically, he's just put together a guide that's got 170 ESPs in it, email service providers. So that's just in his one guide. There's 170 different systems. And that's just a very small portion of the systems that are out there in the marketplace. So you know, that's one of the subjects that really, it gets me going.
Get you going, right? Well, and I think I mean, everything you're saying, obviously, I totally agree with. And it's funny, it's like a journey is with this whole process. And I have to say, I feel bad with, you know, talking about, you know, following me from one platform to the other. But I know that you ultimately have to find the one that works for you.
Yes.
You know, and then stick with it. But your goal is to know, one, if you know what your purpose is, you know who your ideal clients are, and you're talking to them, and then you start, you're basically able to carry on and keep that relationship moving in the right direction. And email marketing is the only way that I know to do that consistently, right?
Yeah, you own that. Absolutely.
You own that. You don't own Facebook. You don't own Blab. You own your list. They've opted into your list to get value from you.
Yeah,
so
you want to take those people from those other channels because that's where they're hanging out. That's where you grow your email list from. And then you use your email list to direct people through to what you want to sell to them, products or services, whatever that is. And I think in terms of the email service providers, you know, what you're doing, Darla, and what Emily is doing, well, that's going to be completely different at some point. You know, you're going to split off and you're going to need different things. And I think that recommendations are brilliant, but you need to research that yourself and look at, right, Darla's recommended this, or Kate's recommended this, or Emily's recommended this. Yeah, it looks good and it's working for them, but what's going to work for me? And, you know, go and play around with those systems, get demos, sign up for a free account if you can. Play around with it and really see what's going to work for you. But it's that, there's a lot of systems out there other than the 5 that the entrepreneurs seem obsessed with. So if you want some advice, Email Vendor Selection. It's a really great website. I'm just going to type in the name. And I mean, it's a reasonably advanced website, you know, in terms of it is targeting very, very big businesses as well. But it's got, you know, lots of information about different systems and things like that. So, yeah, definitely check that out.
And it's a lot, like we were talking about, and it can feel overwhelming because, as we've all talked about, and everybody in the comments section have talked about, many of us are solopreneurs. We have a life, we have a family, we have lots of other responsibilities, and it's trying to juggle everything, right? So, but I think once you start to get back to, and we're all trying to think about next year, we're thinking about, you know, what are we going to do for 2016? Sometimes it's just going back to the fundamentals and reassessing who's your target, and then talking to that person, and how are you going to talk to that person? So I'm
just reading a couple of the comments. I love Stevie saying, you just went all the way in. I love it. Hell yeah. And then the one after that from Nelson W. Trent says, people that say email is dead aren't successful at it. And I think that's really great point.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Welcome to everybody who's coming in here. I know it's 12:15 right now. And I feel like we're just really rolling. I know, Em, do you have to go, honey?
I don't have to go today. I can hang out. I'm not going to go to my other meeting because I'll tell you why. This is sort of a little funny. I'm not going to go to my normal networking meeting that I commit to every week because they're touring the Nile, which is the northern. Oh, shoot. No, I'm not going to be able to. It's a livestock show. And I freaking could give 2 shits about horses and cows and all that, right? So I'm not going today.
Cows aren't your target audience.
I love it. Yeah, they're not there. They're right here. They're in the house. This is awesome. So if you guys are game for this, I would love to invite somebody to come in and maybe either ask a question, or if they want to add. We have a free seat. So I'm going to unlock the seat. And if somebody wants to come in, don't be shy. We won't bite you. We can anyway.
Come and say hello. Well, we could try. It is Halloween, of course.
It is Halloween. I don't have my fangs in.
Oh, Stevie wants to come on. Yay.
Yay. So, yes. So, and I know there's some awesome people here. Thanks, you guys, for joining. So we'll let Stevie come in and chat with us. Hey, how are you, honey?
Hi.
How are you guys? Can y'all hear me?
We can.
Perfectly. Awesome. Tell us a little bit about you, who you are, what you do, and if you have a question.
I am Stevie Aisha Mills. I'm the author of Cultivating Your It Factor, 14 Must-Haves to Discover, Define, and Refine Your Signature Brand. I also am from the great state of North Carolina. And yeah, I don't have a question. I just had to come on because I love your energy. I love your energy, and whenever I'm in a great place, I have to say thank you for just providing so much value. And so I've asked my question. My question was the text marketing question, because I've heard that, and I'm like, I'm building my list, but I know that you guys have expertise in this, and that is why I asked that question. But I'm loving all of you guys. You guys are totally rocking your factor, and I am glad to be here with you today.
We're so glad you came in. I mean, you've been so positive. We can see the comments, and thank you for asking and being a part of it. Thanks for coming on and telling us that, because that's one of the reasons why I love Blab. It's so much different than all the other platforms, because you get live interaction right now, right? And so thank you for sharing that. We're so glad you're here. I mean, for us, this started by just me begging my girlfriends to get on here with me.
Well, I've got a question for Stevie. Actually, I'm gonna ask you a question, if that's all right, honey.
Yes.
So my question for you is: so you said that you're building your email list. What's working for you right now? Where are you finding that your target audience are hanging out? And what's your opt-in offer? I think we'd love to perhaps get people to share their opt-in offers in the comments as well, so that other people can see those. What's working for you right now?
I do a lot of webinars. Last year in December, I did a 30-day event that incorporated social media, Google Hangouts, and conference calls. So you had to sign up. It was called 24 Hours of New Beginnings Power. And in that, we talked about rocking out 2015 to 2014 to make a dynamic foundation for 2016. So for me, a lot of events incorporating social media and things like that, so that they'll want to draw in. So that was my major opt-in, and that helped. I wasn't a real big stickler on email marketing, really, until I understood what you said, that we don't own the platform. And that made a whole big difference in my life. And so because of that, I'm doing more. And I think that for me, my whole excitement is about talking, because I am a talker, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach and a trainer. So that makes me excited. So usually my opt-in is either a pre-recorded session that I've already done, or one that I'm going to do.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And I think, something else there that's really, really key, and something particularly that I talk about with and work with my very, very big multinational clients with, is multi-channel marketing, or we call it omni-channel marketing. So we have fancy names for things. But it's basically, you've got to make all your marketing channels work together. And again, have a look at the brands around you and people that you follow, and very big multinational companies. They don't use one channel in isolation. The message that they put out on their email marketing is the same as on their social media, is the same as on their TV ads, is the same as on their print ads, is this, you've got to work with all of those channels together. And you've got to know where it is to target your audience. So Stevie, that all sounds brilliant. And yeah, well done for that. And you're playing to the strengths of what that your market want, and your strengths as well. You're a speaker, you're a trainer, you're a coach. And so to do those webinars and to have those videos and things like that, that's how people want to absorb information from you. So really, really brilliant.
Thank you. It was awesome, because I believe so strongly in the power of collaboration. So I had 41 speakers. We had, December only had a certain number of days, but we went hard. We did 2 to 3 people a day speaking, and the only day we took off in December was Christmas. So that allowed that, and then from that we launched the book project, and then from that live book signings and different things like that, because my book is a collaboration with 14 of us. So I continue to collaborate.
I love it. Yeah, that's great. And that's what it's all about. I mean, I think especially, Blab is a great platform for this, and it's a great outlet for you to do that. And so we're so glad that you came on and you shared that. I mean, really appreciate it. And we love, hope that you come back. And then you guys, everybody here, just so you guys know, if you're new to Blab, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to follow Stevie. So if you see her on here and you click on her name, it will change over, and that way you'll be following Stevie. So if you want to collaborate with her, you can do that. I would also ask you guys, if you want to get to know Stevie, follow her on Twitter too, and start having those conversations. That's how all this starts.
Yep.
So
Thank
so
you.
glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, honey.
Thanks, Stevie.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. You guys, I'll
Bye.
be back
Have
in
a
the
great
comment
weekend.
section. Y'all make it a
Okay. Thanks, honey. Okay, so if somebody else wants to hop in, if you've got a comment that's about being afraid of email unsubscribes, or getting to know who your target audience is a little bit, or about social media stuff, the seat is open. We've got new people that are here, so don't be shy. If you've got a question that you want to ask Kate, this is your time. If you got a question you want to ask about Ideal Client, or about building your business in a healthy format, then you want to talk to Emily about that. We're here to help, and this is also a lot of fun for us. So for us, it's all about collaborating and getting to know people and help, and being of service.
Somebody be brave. Who's going to be brave and jump into the open seat? Come on, guys. We're not that scary.
Yeah, it makes me think of that song. What is that song? Who's the song that says "I want you to be brave"? Who says that? Is it Ingrid Michaelson? I love that song. Oh, Sarah Borealis. Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's Friday. Can you tell?
Has anyone got any other questions for us? Anything else that you want to find out? Even if you don't want to jump into the seat, you don't have to. You can just leave us a comment in the messages as well. That's cool. But
we're cool with that, because
it's
funny. I've been on some of the blabs, and people say, "Oh, if you want to come on in, it's nighttime for me." I'm like, I'm in my jammies. You don't want me to hop into that seat.
Hey, I have a question, Kate, that I think probably a lot of folks that are here, and for those of you who just joined, I'm here representing those of us who have completely jacked up our email list and who went from platform to platform to platform. So I'm here today as much of a student as I am somebody who's willing to say that I have no area of expertise in this topic that we're talking about today. But I do have a question. And maybe you already kind of talked about this, but I've been kind of trying to manage the chat. So if you did, I apologize, but maybe some of the newbie people will benefit from it. Do you have ideas? And I know that it depends on your industry and who your target audience is, but even just some creative ideas for the offer. And because I always struggle with what do I offer in terms of my freebie or my opt-in to get people on my list, in the first place. So do you have ideas for that? And maybe you can give a couple of different, key, a top 10 for, retailers versus service, or, product-based people versus service people. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely for product-based businesses, for retailers, it's really, really simple. You want to be going for free shipping, so free delivery, a percentage off, pound or dollar off, or free samples. Those are the key ones that are really going to do it for you. And with product-based businesses, you're then going to make sales from that very first welcome email that you send out. And that's the difference with product-based businesses. It's sales from the beginning. Snap, snap, snap. It's right there. Service-based businesses, think about what is the pain point that you can fix right now for your ideal client. So what's something that they're struggling with right now that they really, really need help with? And then don't overcomplicate it. It really doesn't have to be the war and peace of information. Just sometimes a one-page checklist can work really well, and we can all go and put something together like that in half an hour, and get it out there. But the key is you've got to know what's that pain point that you can solve. What's that problem for them that you can solve right now that they're struggling with? So in terms of specific examples, it really does depend on, topic wise, what your clients are struggling with and what industry it is and what you're looking at. But either a short ebook, a one-page checklist, a video or a video series, like a series of 3 videos that you then deliver via email over the series of a week, for example. It could also be a webinar So that's an opt-in offer because you're giving them value on that webinar, and obviously you're running that live. So it could be something like that. But it could be, you know, just as simple as literally a one-pager, you know, 5 things that you're doing wrong in your business. You know, that's a very general title there. But, you know, I'm working on something at the moment that's going to be basically 5 things that online retailers are doing wrong right now that's costing them sales. So that's a 1-page checklist, sort of cheat sheet that I'm working on right now for my audience. But you've got to know what that problem is, because the reason I've come up with that is because I know that a lot of retail entrepreneurs, where they've gone onto Facebook and they're in certain entrepreneurial Facebook groups, a lot of those Facebook groups are targeted at service-based businesses. So they're telling you, you've got to have, you know, this big opt-in offer, and you've got to have this sales funnel and everything. But my audience, the online retailers or those with bricks and mortar stores, it's completely the opposite for them. You know, they literally want to be giving out, you know, that discount, and then making sales from the first email. So, you know, it's a completely different market they're looking at. And every time I say that to one of my clients, they're like, so I don't have to write paragraphs and paragraphs for my next email. And I'm like, what are your top 10 products that you're selling right now? And they're like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, there you go. There's the next 10 emails. So, you know, or there's your, you know, there's your opt-in offer. Give them a free sample of that top product that you're selling right now. So you've really got to look at your audience. What are their pain points, and how can you solve that right now? You know, service-based businesses is about giving them value and building the relationship with them, so you can basically take them through that mindset process of, I don't know who you are. Who are you? Why on earth should I spend $1,000 with you? You know, or more even. You've got to take them through that process of, here is an amazing opt-in offer for you that's going to give you so much value and help you achieve something in your business that you weren't doing before. And then you want to take them through that thought process, that building that know, like, and trust factor with your emails to then get through to the sale. Does that help, Emily? Does that help in any way, shape, or form?
Absolutely. I just think sometimes it's, you know, challenging when you're a baby at this, or you, you know, you feel like you were learning how to crawl and never really walked. And so then you just stop trying to get some, you know, idea starters, some brainstorming tools. I know, Darla, you said there was a question that somebody had you wanted to address.
Yeah, there's somebody here. It kind of goes back to what, you know, kind of goes back to the conversation we're having, and I'm trying to find it again. I want to make sure I get that. So it's from that egg guy, and he says, how to make more Twitter followers. And so that kind of talks about social media and things like that. Ultimately, you know, for me, I would tell you that you need to know who, you know, if your ideal client is on Twitter, then of course you want to be there. Twitter, I have found, is a great tool. I am finding for me, and I feel very blessed to be able to I'm getting a couple hundred people a month, which I'm really excited about, that are joining me on Twitter. It's about engaging with them. So if your ideal client is on Twitter, and it's a platform that you will use and you will use consistently, then get on Twitter and get to know Twitter. And we can that's a whole other topic conversation that we can talk about later. And if anybody in the house is a Twitter expert and wants to come on, we'd love to have you be with us. But that's something that, you know, it's about engaging with them, and it's about building that relationship. And then it also goes back to building, you know, giving them blog content, giving them value. That whole 80-20 rule, I think, applies. Offer 75 or 80% worth of value, and then 20% about promotional stuff. Trying to get them to get onto your email list should be part of your evergreen process. And Twitter too. So we've got a couple people that want to join in. I don't know how much further you guys want to go. I'm just trying to monitor our time too. It's 12:30 right now. So I lost Ray. So I don't know if there's other questions here. And I know that some people had said they'd like to come in. Is that okay for a few minutes?
In terms of email marketing, just while we're waiting for someone to join, you know, just keep it simple. You know, start with a one-pager. Literally, you know, what are 5 tips that you can give to somebody that's very specific? So the example is, rather than saying to people, lose weight with these 5 tips, you really want to narrow it down. You know, lose those last 10 pounds before your summer holiday with these 5 tips. Okay, so you want to get specific. And that's really, really key for service-based businesses when you're coming up with an opt-in offer. be specific. The more specific you can be, the more helpful you're going to be, the more value you're going to add, the better everything's going to be. So yeah, that's my thing. Just start simply. It really doesn't have to be the war and peace of opt-in offers. You know, do a one-pager and then optimize it from there and make sure you're pushing it out to the right people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was just waiting for Kate to finish. I'm here. I'm audio only. Okay. I wanted to ask all of y'all, but since Kate seems to be on top of all of this, my question is a little futuristic, because here's what I'm finding out is that when I'm going to take you all back to the silent picture time when there were movies, silent picture actresses and actors, and a lot of them didn't make the transition into the talkies. Okay, and I think that's what's happening here with Blab. So there's a lot of people who are doing email marketing and doing all the texting and blogging and all of that. I am not that guy. I'm a talk guy. And I've been waiting for this to happen. Yeah, I use my voice. I don't use my writing to get across to people. So I could do an email list. I've had an Aweber account for like 6 years, I think, 6-7 years. And I haven't used it because I don't need to do email necessarily. So here's my question. I've been on here for about 3 months. There's well over 900 people following me. And I just said no. I said, shh, because you guys are getting ready to end this. But I could have said yes. 900 people would now know, if they have their notifications turned on, that I'm here. And if they follow me and they like your topic, they're going to come in and listen in or watch the replay. This is what I know is happening. So is this new transition to this streaming media and or this type of, I call this TV 2.0. The CEO here says, push a button, start a show. That's what everybody here is doing. So is this not necessarily replacing email, but is it the next evolution of email? Would you rather have somebody following you here with this type of environment and just sending out a notification, which is the same as email as far as I'm considered, but you're not getting text, you're getting me and talk. Do you follow what I'm saying, Kate?
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And I half agree with you and half don't agree with you. So the reason that I half don't agree with you is because that there are people who would love to hear your voice and love to hear what you're putting out there, but they're not necessarily on Blab. And yes, you've built an audience on here and that's brilliant. But what about those people who don't realize that you're live right now, or, you know, don't realize that you're doing that? And email could help you push that message out to even more people. And, you know, you don't have to be a writer to use email. You know, you could be using email to let people know when you're on Blab or Periscope or YouTube, you know, you put out a new video or what have you. You're using email as a delivery system to tell people that you're on that channel, you know. And again, you don't own Blab. So if Blab then shuts down tomorrow, you've lost that audience and they've got, you know, no other way to contact you. Same with the other social media channels. So I think that email, again, it comes back to this multi-channel approach. I would never advise somebody to just use email. I would never advise somebody to just use an individual social media channel. You need to link everything together to give, you know, as many people as possible that maximum chance to hear your message and to receive that content from you. So yeah, half agree, half disagree.
Yeah, no, very good.
Yeah, I'm going to add to that because I agree too. I agree with what Kate's saying, because this is a story that this happened like 2 years ago. I have a colleague, and I think Kate knows who she is, who built her whole platform on Facebook. She had thousands of people following her on Facebook. Well, she was doing some things that Facebook did not agree with. Facebook shut her down. She could not even talk to her clients to let her clients that she had meetings with from Facebook because she had no access to them because she did not have a list. That is the value of an email. Yeah. That's the reason why you need to have an email list.
It backs it up. It backs it up. You know, always think multi-channel. You know, you've got to get to people in different places. And, you know, the people that may want to learn from you, Roy, they may not all be on Blab. They may be on other channels. And, you know, again, it's what I said, going back to that statistic of email is 40 times better at acquiring new customers than Facebook or Twitter. Now, that's not to say that Facebook or Twitter are bad, because they're not. They're, you know, conversational and relationship building. But if we can get people from those channels onto our email list, we can let them know about other things that are happening in our business, new channels that we're on, you know, new things that we're releasing. You know, you've got to think, if think about like a traditional blog, for example, and you do a weekly blog. Well, there's going to be such a small amount of people who are actually going to make that effort every week to go onto your blog to see if there's a new blog post out. But if you push it out there by email, people don't have to go searching for it. You're taking that content straight to them. And, you know, the number of people with email accounts, I can't remember what the statistic is off the top of my head, but I mean, you know, new email accounts are still being set up every single day. And Roy, I'm sure in your own life that you check your email at least once a day. I would be willing to bet a reasonable amount of money on that.
I do not. See that? Yeah, that's the difference between me and email. I don't check my email. Here's the thing, though. Really quick follow-up question. So, Kate, you first. How many email lists are you on?
How many email lists am I on personally?
Yes.
Oh, I couldn't even put a number on it. A lot. A lot of different, because for different reasons.
More than 100?
Yeah.
I couldn't even put a number on it. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know.
Okay. Darla, how about you?
I'm going to say more than 100. I'm probably on more than 100, but I will tell you that I am on more than 100. However, if it's no longer serving me, I will opt out because I don't want to see it. I get too many emails.
I'm going to get right back to what you said about the opt-out. Emily, how many are you on? Do you know?
Can't hear you.
You're muted.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, my kids came in. I don't have a number either. I don't know.
More than 100? A lot?
A lot. I don't think I'm on more than 100. I really work hard not to opt into things that I just don't have time for it. So I really try to be very, very particular about the things that I opt into.
Here's my point. Darla said if she doesn't like it, she'll opt out, right?
Yep.
What if you opt out of my list?
Then I can find
my
you on a different channel. That's part of the multi-channel approach.
Right, but my question is, see, if I know I'm no good in email and I know Darla's going to opt out, why would I even do it? See, this is my approach. My approach is I'm futuristic in my thinking, okay? Because if I get a chance to talk with someone and interact with someone like this, like right now, I've already made some sort of a connection with all of y'all, okay? Now, I've already connected with Darla. I've already connected with Emily, but this is my first time with you, Kate, and I can tell that by the fact that I'm already connected with Darla and Emily, and I'm not with you, right? I still have that little head and shoulders thing here. So I'm on your mind, on your radar, because just of what I've said here. Now, if you want to follow up with me, okay, then you could do that. Go to wherever I am on social media or whatever, but you might not necessarily want to join my email list if you know that I'm boring. You understand what I'm trying to say? And so,
yeah,
but then,
so I agree with what you're.
Channel.
There's no right answer to this. I think the right answer is, does the glove fit for me?
Exactly.
Right.
And that's the point with a multi-channel approach.
Yeah. Right, and I understand your multi-channel approach, and I get that. I'm not bagging or ragging on email, because if you ask me, Roy, how many email lists are you on? I'm over 1,000 people's email lists. I am. Last count, I was over 1,000 people. I love being on people's email lists, but I don't want people to be on my email list because I don't like doing email. You understand what I'm saying? I don't even check my email. People know if you want to connect with me, go send me a Twitter DM or call me on the phone or get me on Skype. That's it. That's the only place. Roy, you're not on Facebook? I'm on Facebook, but don't connect with me on Facebook. I don't like Facebook for that connection thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? I just wanted to point that out in case some people were thinking, I have to be everywhere. I have to do all these things. No, choose what works and fits for you, right? No one will leave you with a comment.
Yeah.
If you do not fit, you will not commit. And seriously,
True.
I do not fit with Facebook. I don't like that environment for doing what I do.
Yeah,
just
totally
that simple.
agree.
That's all I wanted to say.
And that's a great
I just
point.
want to bring that up,
Now,
ladies.
That's a great point. Great point, Roy. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, I totally agree with Roy. I totally agree with Roy. You've got to look at where your target audience are, but also what you're comfortable with. Absolutely. And again, as entrepreneurs, we've only got so many hours in the day. You can't be on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, running a really good email program, and you just can't. No one can do all of that.
Yeah, you can't do it all.
No one can do all of that. And I think that that's a really good point, because you've got to focus in on one, get it working for you, and then go on to the others. But what I would say, obviously I've got to defend email, is that, like we've said, if any of these channels that you don't own go down, How are people going to contact you? How are you going to
What's your backup plan?
Yeah, absolutely. So
what's your backup plan? So just think about that. For me, my backup plan is for sure email marketing.
Yeah, and for most people it will be, and for most people it's a really great channel to go on. But I totally take Roy's point, totally agree with it. And yeah, absolutely. So yeah, thank you so much for jumping in. That was really interesting. Really agree with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's what, that's where you have to find out. You have to realize where your strengths are and where you want to put your efforts in, because we all only have 24 hours, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is great. So it looks like Stevie says, I think that the fear of loss wins the race. You work too hard to be losing my connections. Food for thought, Roy says. Yeah. So it's just something to think about. It's like, what's your backup plan? Because if that goes down, like I know Roy says, it's not Facebook, and he connects on Twitter, and I have been using Twitter a lot too. But then you have to think, okay, if something happens to Twitter, how am I going to reach these people?
But also, how are you going to convert those people? How are you going to convert those people on Twitter, for example? Because they may see one of your tweets, but then they may not see the next one or the next one, So
yeah, 3 seconds, right?
Yeah, not everyone's going to read all of your emails. I'm going to put that out there. Of course they're not. An average open rate is, between 30 and 60%, depending on what it is that you're sending out. Not everybody's going to receive all of your emails or read them. But again, something with email marketing is, even if they see your name in their inbox, you're in their mind. Even if they don't read your email, you're still in their mind. And when they do have time to read it, then they will. And again, it comes back to the very first thing that we said. If someone unsubscribes, that's okay. We're okay with that, they may come back to you. They may not, they may join you on a different channel. And I'm going to give you a tip here. A tip that I give to my big retail clients even is, if somebody goes to unsubscribe, clicks that unsubscribe link, let them go. Make that a process as simple as possible. And on that unsubscribe page, you may well want to put links to your social media channels. And just because somebody doesn't want to join you on email doesn't mean they don't still want to talk to you on social media, and vice versa. So absolutely, you've got to respect people's time. And if, again, relevant, interesting, valuable content, really important. But people just may not want emails from you. They may not want to be on your Facebook page. They may not want to be on your Twitter feeds. They may not want to follow you on Blab. You've got to give them the options. But as an entrepreneur, you can't be everywhere. You have to do, focus on one thing and do it well, and go from there. So yeah, I totally agree with all of these comments.
Yeah, this has been a great conversation, you girls. I mean, I really appreciate everybody being in here with us. It's awesome. I know that it's now 12:44. I'm getting a little hungry. I don't know about you girls.
It's 5:45 here where I am.
Oh, so it's dinner time for you, Miss Kay.
Dinner time.
Yeah. So maybe we should start to wrap this up, and I put your tips in there.
Oh, can I just say, not your unsubscribe email. Never send an unsubscribe email. Please, 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 people.
What did I do?
Send an unsubscribe email on your unsubscribe page. So after somebody has clicked and you've said, yep, I can confirm you've been unsubscribed, on that landing page, put your social media channels on there.
Okay, hang on. I just this is really cool. And I made you girls co-host so you can change and edit things too, FYI. So write that comment in there too, Kate. So we have that. And maybe this is a good place for us to wrap up for today, because next week we'll be talking more about things that scare you in your business. So we'd love for you guys to subscribe and join us next week. And if you can't be here, if you subscribe, then you'll get the replay, which is awesome. Yes, and thanks so much for joining us here, Mr. Michael and Summer Wellness and Roy and Stevie and everybody who's in here with us in the house. Vic's still here. We're so glad you guys are here, and ladies. And we want to be here to have fun. So it's all about having fun and sharing what's working for us and what hasn't worked for us. And we all have different points of expertise. And we're glad you guys are here. So I'm going to go ahead and put my information in here. So if you are interested, you want to learn more about building your brand awareness and who you're supposed to be talking to, who's your ideal client, then I would love for you to join my community. And I'm just over at darlakirchner.com. If I could spell my name.
Yes, and thank you for listening to me rant. When it comes to email marketing, I get so passionate. So as you can probably tell.
yeah, she's amazing at it. She is. Yeah, and that's the thing. Is when you're that passionate about it, it's the same thing for me. It's like I love helping people find their ideal client. I mean, that just excites me. I get excited just thinking about it. So that's the whole thing. But so we've all got our stuff in here. And so so Stevie will definitely connect with you. We'd love to collaborate. We're always looking for new people to collaborate and people to meet. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Oh, so Robert just joined us. Thanks for joining us, Robert. Robert Stern is really great about social media and helping with. He's been on Blab here for a while, so we're glad you're here, Robert. We're just getting ready to sign off. We've been on since 11, and so we've been talking a lot about this whole month. Yeah, we've been blabbing. A lot of blabbing going on, talking about what scares you in your business about unsubscribing, and we talk about a lot of email marketing and your strategy, if that's right for you, and how are you going to get people to get to know, like, and trust you, right? So thanks for joining us, Roy, and thanks for joining you guys. I'm going to go ahead and please know that you can catch the replay. We love for you guys. Oh, thanks, Vic. You're awesome, dude.
I love that picture from Vic. That is so awesome.
That's
Vic,
awesome.
Come on, next week. You've got to bring a whole load of images for us next week.
Yeah, bring these images, Vic. He's our props guy. He's awesome. So, and he's always giving us props. You're amazing, buddy. You're amazing. And just know that we're all here to help, and we want to be helpful. So make sure that you're connecting with us on our other platforms. I love to carry on conversations over on Twitter. I am on Facebook, and I know the girls are too.
Multi-channel approach.
Multi-channel approach. I'm all about that, and I love doing, and that's why I love doing Blab, because it's instant and it's very transparent. People get to know who you are. So yeah, look at Robert's putting that Twitter in there. That's awesome.
Love it.
You guys are great. So Em, you want to say anything before we wrap up?
Have an amazing Friday and a great weekend, right? And
let's rock this weekend.
We'll come to the table next week with more things. Can we talk about really quickly the specific topic where you're talking about what scares you in your business, but specifically what again?
I forgot. I don't remember. I put it in there 2 weeks ago. I don't remember what I put in.
I don't remember either.
Just subscribe. I can't remember.
It'll be a surprise.
It'll be a scary surprise. So just come on in. Yeah, I don't remember. But yes, put a Twitter link in here, Darla, please. Okay. Let me think here. What is it? And and you guys, seriously, we'd all love to connect with you in any way we can, any way we can be helpful. So appreciate you guys being here. We'd love for you guys to join us on our next Blab next week. And we're all on here, and we love to be of help. So thanks for joining, you guys. Have an awesome weekend.
Bye.
Fantastic.
Bye guys. Thanks.